So you see its wings sort of animate and its mouth opens big and wide. And as it does, you see the mouth quickly sort of slam shut, and it looks both like straight in the eyes at you, Stony, and then it looks back at C4. And it does appear to be still stone, but it's definitely animated.
I open my mouth. I think close it.
I looked at C4. I said, "Why don't you ask it where the portal's at?"
I'll ask it where the portal is.
I was talking to C4.
I don't care.
You still ask, right? So as you say that, it turns its head and it looks at you, and you can see its mouth sort of opens, and you get the smell of almost like rusted metal or a metallic type of smell that kind of comes out from the mouth, and it says to you, it says, "Portal is deep by the tree."
Thanks, where's the tree?
It sort of shakes its head and it looks around. Looks at Aaron and Pip and Roan, and Nordal just slowly starts moving around the room.
Wait, it starts moving around the room?
Nope, it's just looking like it's moving its head around the
okay.
room, like it's looking around.
Can you take us there?
And again, it continues to look around the room, almost ignoring you.
I want to walk around and look behind to see if there's something behind it.
Tokens are not.
Like a little man behind the curtain.
You walk back there. You don't see. It appears to be a solid sort of stone that's there. You do see that the wings sort of move at times, but the tail kind of flickers a little at the end. But it does appear to be just sort of looking around.
Anyone got any ideas?
I'm going to reach out and poke near the base of its tail.
I'm gonna do an Arcana check, Rick.
Okay. So you kind of poke the tail, and the tail sort of kind of quivers as you poke at it.
Did it feel like stone or flesh or something else?
It did, yeah.
I think this is an illusion, guys.
I nod my head no.
I'll have you all make a wisdom saving throw.
All of us?
Yep. Jeez, oh Pete's. You guys are supposed to save those all. No kidding. Wow, that's amazing. I can't believe that roll. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, he Stony rolled in the tower, it looks like. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And he rolled a 17, so
I think it's an illusion.
I agree with you.
I shake my head yes.
You can find the tree now.
No, it's real. Get back.
Go ahead and punch it then.
What's through this door up here?
all right. Man, I just burned a 20. Oh, Snortle. Oh, man, the rolls are high now. So you hit it, and go ahead and give me a damage roll. So as you do, Yeah, nice rolls. You chop and you see a small little tooth falls out, and as that happens, Storl, it immediately returns back to the way it looked before, and it does not move at all, and you do recognize that it was an illusion itself.
I knew that.
I'm gonna climb up and get the eyes out.
Alrighty, so you pull out the stone.
What do you pull them out of?
Wasn't there stones in the eyes? You put stones in the eyes?
Yeah, I did. I wonder what I put them in. If it's an illusion.
Oh no, the statue's there. The illusion
Oh,
was it
okay.
actually coming to life. That's what was.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Can I hear anything through that door?
You don't.
Okay, C4, you can open this one.
I'll walk up and open it.
Alrighty, so as you open it, you see that this is a large, what looks like a library, and there's some fallen bookshelves that are here, and books sort of scattered across the floor, and you see several of them are burnt and torn, and there's like parchment and paper just kind of strewn all over, kind of piled against the sides, but there's a clear path that goes from the one door to this door. But otherwise, everything else is pushed aside, and the bookshelves are all in disarray and everything.
Can I look through some of the books, like see if I can find if there's like any scrolls or anything?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. We'll do a perception just to kind of search through. How long would you all like to take looking in the room?
Well, it takes
Not
us
long.
forever to do anything, so while they're figuring out that there's another door over there, I'm just gonna keep looking.
Sounds good. So you had mentioned you were looking for scrolls. Is there anything else that you'd be looking for? Is there like certain books, or just kind of randomly just kind of taking a look through?
Just books or anything. You know, I'm looking for like maybe spell books or whatever.
Gotcha. Sounds good. So you see Aaron starts kind of searching around as you all are in the room or whatever you're doing there.
Can I hear anything through there?
I need a couple minutes. 1 second. No, you don't.
Okay. Looks like there's another door you can open, C4.
I'll walk over and open it. And again, back to moving the map with my keyboard.
Did I fall off? Because it's awfully quiet.
I
Yeah,
think
was
Mike
about
stepped
to
away.
ask the same thing.
Okay.
Mike had to go.
Greg stepped away.
Greg, yeah, that's it. Sorry, wrong.
Wrong brother.
Yeah.
Wrong, brother.
Sorry, I'm back. Apologies.
That doesn't sound like a sincere apology. I think you got to try again.
I apologize to you all. Sorry that it got pulled away. Okay, so searching, listen to the door. You didn't hear anything behind the door. Aaron, you see that they moved very quickly over to that door this time, much faster than before. And your brief look, you didn't find anything here, unless you guys want to spend more time looking.
Nope, that's fine.
Okay.
C4 is going to open that door.
Alrighty. So C4, you open the door and you see that it opens up into a passageway, and then you see there's stairs that descend down to the east. Tony, as you look down, you see the steps go down about 15 feet. Who drew on the map? I didn't see that before. That must have been just now. So you...
It actually says C4 was here, but you can't see the was here part.
No, I did. I zoomed in. You can actually see it if you zoom in. So you see the steps go down and the passageway continues to the east. So, Stoney, you kind of move down the steps, and you see that the passageway continues down that way. Snortle and Pip, what are you guys doing? Just kind of tagging behind the group?
Not much room in that room.
No worries, I just want to make sure. So, as you kind of start to step down there, you see that the passageway continues about 60 feet, and then you see stairs that go up on the other side.
So it doesn't actually go into that room, it kind of goes under it?
Yeah, it goes under. It's like an underpass, if you want to think of it that way. Kind of damp and crumbly, and the walls are kind of cracked and whatnot here. Then you see the steps go up sharply, and this time they go up about 15 feet. As you look down the hallway, see that it's a long hallway, and there's two doors on the east side.
Runs clanking down the hallway.
Yes. There's no subtlety to that, right?
Wait.
Is there anything? Can I hear anything there?
So as you listen to that door, you do not hear... Yes, he literally is clanking. You do not hear anything behind that door.
You can open that one, C4.
I'll step up and open it.
As you go to open it, it's locked.
No, I open it.
Alrighty, give me an athletics. Yes, you do. So you hear this loud smash and crash as he pushes the door open, and the door literally busts off the seams and falls into the room. Inside, you see there's a kind of a large room here, and you see that the floor is literally covered in dirt, almost like a layer of soil is laying all across the floor in this entire room. You see there's some rough wooden shelves that are filled with books and scrolls along the north and east wall, and you see this rough sort of wooden desk that's in the center of the room. You see that there's some fungus on the ceiling, and it provides light pretty similar to what you had seen in the other rooms. It kind of lights it up, and it seems like enough to sort of nourish several small bushes and small little sapling trees that grow in the soil of the floor.
I'll start paging through the books as they're looking through things.
Okay, all right, gotcha. So as you kind of start to look through those books, the first book you pick up seems to be something that talks about the precipitation in Barovia as you're paging through. You see, so you kind of see that, and then you also find there's another book that talks about the growth of the trees in Barovia back at some year. You're not sure exactly when that is, and you see there's another one that talks about harvesting, and talks a lot about the lands around the area and how it seems that they were able to harvest this crop then, and these trees grow better than those and whatnot. And then you find a book that is written in that same language that you saw on the floor in the other room, and it's much different than the rest of these. It doesn't, the rest of them are all written in common. This one's not written that way.
Who understood the language in that other room? Can you take a look at this book real quick?
I think that's Snortle.
I'll write it out real quick.
Snortle.
Yeah, I think it was Snortle.
Okay, so cat. Set it here on this table. I'll take a look.
Alright,
All
I'll
right.
do that and then, look around. at the
Okay,
other
gotcha.
ones.
So the book sits down, and as the book is set down, you all can see there's a title written across the front of it, and that's the title of the book.
Yeah, very interesting. Open the book.
Alrighty. So when you open up the book, you see on the first page there's a what looks like a title page. It's got the same sort of wording there, and there's pictures of what looks like fireflies that are kind of all over the front of the book. Go to the first page.
Yep, it's a book about fireflies. I flipped the page.
Alrighty. As he flips that page, suddenly there's a loud crack in the air as you hear almost like a thunder, kind of like more like ice smacking against itself, I guess is probably what I would say. Need
That's
everybody to make a dexterity saving throw. As that happens, you see that this ball of energy just sort of opens up from the page and expands across the room in a kind of a circular ball, and you all are trying to dodge that ball.
Dodge what? I'm sorry?
This large sort of sphere of energy that's kind of exploded out of the book.
You obviously didn't see my save.
I didn't. Now, you all do have inspiration from last week, so if you want to use it, you can. You don't have to.
I'll use my inspiration. Why not?
All right.
We all have inspiration, or we had one inspiration?
You guys had one inspiration. You all were supposed to get it. So, Stoney, you didn't use yours last week, so you should have it.
Okay.
All right. Did everybody roll? Let's see. Pip, I got yours. I got Snortle. Aaron, 4, Stoney. Okay. Everybody's good with those rolls?
No, I think I should roll again. I don't know why.
I was until now.
I better
Just
be
asking.
good.
I'm just
Yep.
asking.
I better be good with a 20.
Oh no. Anybody else? Anybody else?
All right, I'm
I
going
think
for it.
we'd
I'm
all
gonna roll
like to
again.
have Stoney's roll.
All right. All right.
sucking those inspiration out of us, Greg.
I
Sucking
know,
them
I'm
out.
trying. How am I doing? Am I doing pretty good? All right, so Aaron, you get hit with a blast of cold. Unfortunately, you failed on your first one and you failed on your second one.
Oh!
Wow.
Yikes.
Ouch.
What does that mean?
That means she's dead.
That means I'm splattered back up against this wall over here is what it means.
She said, you're a giant ice cube.
Oh, it's ice. Or cold. Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Now, wait, I have a question. Why did Stony take 23 damage? Oh, I know what it was.
He failed. Is it? I don't know.
Disagree. Hang on 1 second. My bad. Hold up. Did anybody? I don't even remember if anybody had damage.
Yeah, I think some of
Had
us
some.
did.
I had 11.
because-
Oh, that's right.
I had 7.
I had 5.
I thought it was only instant death if it was double your original hit points.
It is
double the
double
Yeah.
my hit points.
You're only
And
at 13.
Ron is outside, so I don't know that he got hit.
Oh, he would have been in with you.
Is there anything I can hide under from the next party to come along?
Oh, there's a table. Well, no, the table's probably gone too, actually. Yeah, there's bodies.
There's
More than that. You should have more than 13 hit points.
Oh, by the way, I go back to 1 hit point.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Thank you.
But that doesn't really help the party. Except I might have some healing potions.
I'm gonna put a good berry in Snortle's mouth and make him
Alrighty.
chew.
Okay.
Nom 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 nom.
What happened?
And then I'm gonna go over to Ari and I'm gonna try and put her face back together. And I'm gonna put good berry in there. Nom 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 nom. Her chin's falling off.
I don't think they work on her.
I forgot that. I'm trying. I'm sad.
I have a potion, but I don't know what it is. I don't know if that'll work on her either.
Well, you never know until you try.
You want me to try?
Potion.
Sure.
Well, she's either that or she's done. Okay. I'll pour the potion I have down her throat.
Okay. So you
Okay.
kind of pour it down, and as you do, it immediately freezes in the back of her throat, and there's like this red glob of liquid that's back there.
Okay, I pull it out and stick it back in the bottle.
Frodo goes, well, since she's cold, I have an idea. And I get the flask of alchemist fire. And I
Oh.
pour it down her throat.
All right, gotcha. Wow, this has really turned interesting, I gotta say. So that was interesting. So all of us, I'm not even gonna describe it. You could just make it up in your own mind what happens. Her
Do we
head's
all
warm
take
now.
damage? Is that the question?
We'll keep it self-contained.
Does it thaw her out?
Yes, it thaws her head out, yes, and then some.
Thaws out the inside, not the outside.
Right.
Well, that
She's like a
didn't work.
popsicle with a creamy center.
Did it, or did it just kind of melt me?
Ooze, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking like Raiders of the Lost Ark type of thing, but.
Yes, me too.
I just recently saw that in a show somewhere. What show was that? Oh, that was the Star Wars Episode 9. They had something like that. All right, who else is down? Is there anybody else that's still down? Oh, Garon's dead.
Oh,
Gary.
He's
He's
dead.
dead.
Yeah. There's like pink ribbon laying on the ground. That's about it.
Well, apparently Greg wanted us all to start new characters.
I didn't pick the book or the. This is part of the adventure. I hate to tell you all.
It is. I knew that the book was bad news. I played this one before, but y'all set me up for it, so I'm like, okay.
I've never played it, so I have no clue. If you hadn't opened it, I would have.
Maybe we should take a rest.
Yeah, I'm thinking like a really long one.
Maybe I should do chest compressions.
No, I don't think we need to see what's in there oozing out.
Oh, maybe I got it. I did a critical hit.
My gosh. Yeah, that didn't go well.
Oh no.
We'll forget.
I think I hurt her arm.
Use my healing dice.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any of those.
Deceased.
I don't have anything to preserve her. You want to carry her out, Stony, or just leave her?
Well, since we melted her brains out, is it even worth it?
I don't think so.
I loot Arian.
Did she have anything good? I don't know.
I walk over and grab his hand.
All right. Well, maybe. So she has.
Nope. I grabbed his hand.
Oh, you grabbed his hand. I missed it. Okay.
Well, I'm attempting to grab his hand. I did an athletics for grapple. He can roll an opposed dex for athletics or acrobatics.
Okay.
Who you
And I
got?
lift him up in the air.
Put me down.
I nod my head no. And then I'm going to walk him over here, and I'll set him down over here.
All right.
I put her up on the table.
I would imagine the table is gone.
It's in timbers. Yep.
It would just be goop.
I lay her on the ashes. It was cold. It was cold, so it's not like fire.
Well,
You put alchemist fire.
her
Well,
body's
I mean,
cold. The head's gone, but yeah.
Do as you please.
Well, that sucked.
I kind of liked her too. Oh well. I lay down. I'm gonna have a nap.
Maybe we should go find a healer.
Here's a healer over here. See this red splotch?
Maybe she can be brought back to life.
You got room in your shell?
Nope.
And I can just see we'd be carrying around and dropping her every time we gotta do a fight. I mean, how long? We don't even know where we're going.
Maybe if we find Sir Bradford, he'll be able to help. Probably don't want to leave her belongings though, otherwise they'll pick it over.
I grab her leg. Or, sorry, I grab her around the waist and lift her up.
Okay.
At least he doesn't have a bag of holding to stuff me into.
True. True.
How long do we have before decomposition sets in on the rest?
Is it 10 days?
I believe it
Revivify is
is
1
10
hour,
days.
right?
Yeah.
What's Revivify? Is it an hour or?
Yeah,
do
it revivifies within 1 hour. But I think that's a what level spell? That's like a third or fourth.
Oh, is it
fifth
really?
level spell.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I mean, she's pretty much
No.
toast.
Yeah, revivify you got to use within 1 minute though.
Oh, is that what it is? 1 minute? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
I
1
couldn't
minute
remember.
after death.
I knew there was a time. I just couldn't remember the time.
There's a cantrip, I think, that can preserve the body, right?
Spare the dying. Oh, that just like stabilizes.
No, it's gentle repose.
General purpose.
Yeah, that's like first or second level, I think.
Does anyone have that spell?
No. I think you need a cleric for that one. Either a paladin, which Sir Bradford is. Seem to look for.
There you go.
We can go look for him, yeah. But I think we need to rest first. As I'm grabbing a couple of books for pillows.
All right. What about the rest of you?
Do you still have your heal surge?
No, I used it.
All right. So you all kind of get into certain positions and kind of start to move through that. And about 10 minutes in, you hear the door to the south sort of creaks open a little bit.
I'm holding her body.
Okay. And you see the door opens a little bit more, and Snortle, you're eye to eye with a goblin. He kind of looks into the room and kind of stares at you. Yeah, sure. Let's roll initiative.
Yeah, he's got his turn. Oh no, it's a goblin. I look at C4. I look at the dead character on the table, and I look at C4, look at the dead character. And I'm like, swing away, C4.
So immediately the goblin closes the door.
Do you get a negative to hit if you don't have a head?
That's
Quiet, you.
You gotta remember, Mike ate somebody before.
that's true. Mike has eaten someone before. I forgot about that. That is true. All right. So the door closes. What would you all like to do at this second, or on this round, I should say?
I want to step over and open the door
Okay. So as you
with
open,
my free hand.
yeah. What number were you? So as you swing open the door, you see that there's actually
4 goblins in the room, and the one that ran away is kind of talking to the other one right at this moment. You see that the room is sort of covered in like twigs, and roots are there, and there's a lot of ground, and you see the wall to the south is sort of collapsed, and it opens up into a really large, vast cavern.
I didn't tell you what I do when I open doors, right?
What's that? More bodies?
Door, I 2 steps into the room.
Oh yeah, that's right. And you kind of step in and you see that 7 and 2 are kind of conversing, and you see 4 was kind of startled not startled, but kind of wasn't expecting you to come through the door, and 15 was obviously standing there. It looks like they were all going to talk together where they're at. So you step in there.
That was my action. I stepped into the room.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and advance it then.
Sorry.
Bidbringer. Okie dokie. Alrighty.
I'm an elf, so I'm very aerodynamic.
Right. So goblin number 4 comes over and takes a swing at C4 and obviously misses. Goblin 2 screams and charges as well. Yep.
Okay.
I guess I never rolled that.
We'll move over to here and then you can see 4 from there, right?
Yes, you can.
And then I'll pull his dead corpse 10 feet towards me.
Okay.
I'll move in.
Alrighty.
I take a swipe with my quarterstaff and whomp him,
Nice.
and then Juno chop him.
Alrighty.
And then move out.
Alrighty. Badness. All bad, bad, bad. Right. 7 steps up and swings at C4 again. Are you using her as a shield? No.
Nope.
Oh, he hits. Steps forward. Takes a swing at C4. Tony.
I guess I'll get my head up off my pillow and stand up.
All right.
And
oh, we skipped you last turn. Sorry about that.
That was my fault. I forgot to roll initiative while I was sleeping.
Gotcha.
So it probably serves me right. Let's see. Oh yeah, I was gonna reckless attack that guy that's over in front of Pip.
Okay. Oh, he's dead. 4's dead.
I should be able to get to there, and I'll reckless attack the guy.
Yep.
Number 11, I think.
Alrighty, sounds good. Nice. So you hit him and collapses down.
I did hit him.
Yep.
Okay, good. Jeez, get your head on, Steve. Okay, and that's it.
Okay. D4.
I'm going to attempt to grab number 2.
Okay. With one hand.
With a free hand, yeah.
Yep, gotcha. It'll be
And I'm
Dex.
assuming it's Dex for them.
Yeah, it'll be Dex. Yep.
He is grappled.
Alrighty.
And that is my turn.
Okay. And I'm just leaving it there in case you plan on doing something with a pip. As you do that, you hear him yell out into comm. He's like, "Aid us, protector of the Twilight Grove! Help us! Help us!" He takes a quick stab at you. Pip.
Just count that as 25.
Okay.
Take a shot at this guy.
Nice.
I move there.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah. And I continue to there.
You hit the hang on, you hit Aaron.
Oh.
I got it. There you go. Before you make your move.
Overkill.
Oh. Ooh.
Then I move over there.
Alrighty.
I don't know if I can move that far. I can't remember the numbers, but he's got 50 foot of movement.
Oh yeah, you can move there then. Is that it, Snortle? Alright. Goblin 7. So C4, he takes another swing at you. You guys see C4 kind of collapses and Aaron's body falls on top of him. Level 11 is
I
dead.
should remove the grapple from the guy. Hold on.
Oh, thank you. Stony.
Has that potion that was frozen in her mouth melted?
Why don't you just roll a d20, 10 and higher, it's melted.
Should have. I put the alchemist fire in her mouth.
You took it out before it, I think.
I took it out before that.
Yeah, it was.
I'm going to drink it. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to drink it.
All right, gotcha. It is a healing potion.
You could have licked on it like a popsicle.
Is it 1d4?
We're gonna say it's 1d6 plus 2 because some of it you couldn't get it all back. It was kind of part of it was frozen, part of it wasn't, and it melted, and so 1d6 plus 2. It's normally 2d4. Oh, nice job! All right, so you got 8 hit points there. So you had 16 wounds, I think.
Yes.
Nice.
And I guess I will use my bonus action to rage.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. C4. Death save. Nice.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
There you go.
Thank you. As he does that, you see out of the to the south, you see these. Their speed 20. Okay. This tree-like creature starts climbing or walking towards you. I'll. Oh, this one was already good. Oh, that's all right. I'll lose that. Oops, I skipped up. All right. Scimitar at Pip. Pip, he misses you.
I'm gonna do a bonus action, Balm of Summer Court, my ability.
Sounds good. Nice. D4, you're back up.
And then for my my action, I'm gonna do Fairy Fire in that area there.
All right, sounds good. Nice.
That's my turn.
All
Move
right.
to there.
Hey. That's a hit.
Now move to there.
Okay. Yep, another hit.
And and I move on out
sorry.
to here.
Yep, no problem. Thank you. So he swings at Stony. He doesn't know C4 is up yet. He misses. Then is his bonus action or his special ability he disengages? Stony.
I'm thinking it might be wise to retreat, but and I can't do that. I'll go up to there.
Okay.
These guys have fairy fire on them, or do they not?
Oh, that one does. Number 4 does.
Yep. The ones with the little down thumb has fairy fire on it. If you can see those symbols.
Cannot.
Oh, you can't? Okay, gotcha. I'll rotate the ones
Does
that
15
do.
hit?
Oh, you should have advantage on that, Stone. You don't.
Yeah, try it again.
Yeah, but I don't want to roll 2 of them like that.
That's okay. It's all right. It's a hit. It would have hit anyways.
Okay.
But I want to make sure you
Must have
didn't.
not had him targeted before.
Yep. All right. Crush that one.
And I'll stay there.
Okay. D4.
I will stand up.
Okay. I hate to ask
and
this,
I'd
but
like-
do you have a ranged weapon, C4?
I pick up the dead goblin body next to my feet.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I do have a ranged weapon,
You do now. All right.
but I can also move half move, right?
Yep, you can.
Oh, sorry. Instead of there, I'd rather move to there.
Yep, nope.
And I will swing my goblin at that blight.
Okay. Hit.
Death by goblin.
Perfect. By the way, I hadn't reported this, but the brown is all briar. So the goblin, you saw him kind of like cutting and trying to dive and get underneath this briar patch as you kind of look along. So it's difficult terrain to move through there unless you're a tree. It claws at you, C4. Next one does the same. Yep.
Move to there. I'm gonna pull this goblin out.
Okay. That's a hit.
Can I get to there?
I think so. 5, 10, 15.
Is that
Yes.
difficult? Where is it difficult terrain? between that?
It's the line just before that square. It starts on that square, a line all the way across. So I'll draw a line. Yeah, one lower, actually. Right there. Yep.
Okay.
that one. Yep, yep. Is that where you want to be?
Mm,
Or stay
yeah,
back?
yeah. I'll go there.
All right, gotcha. So that's 40.
Was that one? Are they affected with? Well, I guess that one already had fairy fire on it.
Correct. The one that's twisted or turned has fairy
Okay,
fire on it.
actually, I'll go back to here.
Gotcha.
I want to do that.
Yep, yep. No worries. That's 25 then.
Holy smokes! Okay, I'll go to there. You got to do what you got to do when you got one hit point.
I know. I hear you. I hear you.
Still dead.
Stony, it keeps dinging on you, doesn't it, every time it's your turn?
It does.
Oops, sorry, Stone.
Yeah, I'll go all the way to there.
That's difficult terrain. You're okay with that?
Yeah.
That one does have fairy fire on it, the one you're next to, so you don't have to technically move there if you don't want to.
I do.
Okay, gotcha.
I'll
All
go
right,
there.
so you step through the brambles and kind of move through it.
Forgot to target him again.
That's all right. Just roll another attack roll on him, or another attack roll. Just see if you get a crit. Okay, that's a hit. All right, you crush the tree. Wood splinters everywhere. C4.
I will swing my weapon at the one that's remaining.
Okay.
And then end my turn.
All right, it will claw at you. Or it misses. Yep.
Move to there.
Okay.
And then I'll shoot my bow at it.
Okay. Nice, that's a hit. All right, and his bow breaks it apart. So as you all kind of have some time to sort of see what's going on here, you see that this area that's beyond this sort of briar thorny areas is kind of these pale sort of briars that sort of casts these twisted shadows on the earth, and you see there's a violet light that sort of pours down on this large sort of cavern. And you see that there's fungus on the walls that sort of give this sort of the sickly sort of twilight look to bushes and saplings, and there's like wooded plants, and you see throughout the cavern there's these ruined walls that just sort of jut up out of the earth, and are looks like maybe buildings or even maybe houses, something like that was out here. Yep. Let's do this because we're gonna suspend some of your searches. There are no secret doors in any of this area. It's easier. See way back in the back of the cavern are some walls that look like maybe a tower or something like that. And then yeah, just remember that's all. I mean, we're not marking it out now, but for combat, that's all difficult terrain. Unless you run through it, and then that's a different story. You can if you want. But.
What happens if you run through it?
You get poked.
What do you mean poked?
Poked with briars.
I think we should take a break. Or not.
I mean, why would you take a short rest at this point in the game?
Strategically, it just doesn't make any sense, right?
Not at all.
Well,
So-
it's not going to help Aaron at all, is it?
Probably
I think
not.
she's toast.
I'm
Nope.
pretty sure there's no coming back from where she's at right now.
As you continue through the briars, there you see that above that wall that's there, that last wall, you see this large tree that's there, and it really kind of stands up about maybe 25, 30 feet or something like that. And you see that it continues to have sort of this pale look to it, and this purple light sort of bearing down on this large tree that's there.
this is a tactic. All right. So you continue to move through.
Sorry, did I miss something in the description of that tree?
Nope, nothing. As you do, you peer through and you see on the far side of the area there's a portal that's sitting there. It's got this green light that's sort of emanating from it, and you can see it's a circular portal with stone. It has some looks like really green sort of stuff covering the edges. Well, I'm trying to think of foliage that's on there, much greener than anything else that you've seen. And there's a picture. It's small in the portal, but you can see the shimmering image of something beyond the portal itself. As you all get to that spot right there, you see that there is what looks like 3 human beings that are sort of standing by the tree itself, and you see see some twig blights that are there, and there's a heavily armored young man with a shield and a sword, and what looks like a blonde young human, a woman who's sort of in a robe, and there's a middle-aged man. He's bearded, and he's wearing a hooded brown robe, and he has what looks like a staff and a sickle there. And then you see there's I miss somebody.
Is that Sir Bradford?
It does look like Sir Bradford. It does.
And what about Talgan? Is that Talgan?
It maybe. They don't really seem to see you at this
Hey,
point.
Sir Bradford, over here.
Do now, don't they? So you yell. As they do, you see Sir Bradford sort of turns to you, and as he does, you see his eyes are black, black as coal. His skin is really gray, and it has what appears to be the texture of bark. And he just sort of looks in your way, and the female also does the same, and she turns, and you see her face and skin looks exactly the same. And then the hooded gentleman turns to you as well.
Uh-oh. Sir Bradford looks different.
And that's what you see. And the gentleman in the middle sort of turns to you, and he says, "Hold. You know not what to do?"
No.
And he kind of looks towards you, and he says, "What is your name, little one?"
Pip Shortstock.
Pip Shortstock. The other two just sort of stand there and look in your direction. He says, "And who is with you, my young friend?" Oh, you're actually behind the wall. Never mind. It would have been C4 and Stony, but that's okay. He still talks to you.
No. I got Arian here. She kind of lost her head in the last room. And then I got C4. And then Stony. I think that's it.
You kind of wave, and he sees Stony, and he looks to you, and he says, "I am Bellic, called the Outcast. My circle expelled me, the fools. Why? Because I dared to expand nature's reach in ways they couldn't grasp. I have found what I sought in the Gothias tree."
That's cool. We're just trying to get through the portal. I'm a nature guy myself.
Fellow druid, please step forward, my friend. You will truly enjoy what I have created.
I can't. I'm locked.
There you go. You're unlocked.
I'll come over there. I'm peeking around the side.
All right, gotcha. So as you peek around, you see Alex kind of there, and he sort of walks over here and kind of looks to you, and he says, "Please come, my son."
Kind of scared. What did you do to Sir Bradford?
Oh, these were my first supplicants. The Gothias tree has accepted them. They are mine to control, just like these twig blights that you see. Can't save them, my friend.
I'm just trying to get through the portal. We'll leave you here. We're just gonna go through that green portal over there.
He slowly turns his head towards the portal and he says, "Oh, trying to get there, huh? No one has ever stepped through that portal or activated it, but you can try."
I bet you I can get through.
Really?
Uh-huh.
He kind of waves his hand. He says, kind of moves it in that direction. He says, "Please try. I implore you."
I'm a little nervous. The tree kind of scares me. Why has everybody got bark on their face? I'm gonna do it. What kind of check would I need for that guy? Nature or Arcana?
But you could do either one. It's interesting. You've not ever seen that before. You're not sure exactly what it is, actually. Definitely not human. You know that. Well, not human skin, anyways.
So have you tried going through the portal?
So when you look over there, this is what you see. Bellic says, "Oh, why would I? I have everything I need here."
Looks pretty nice on the other side of the portal.
Ah, I don't think it's very beautiful. I think this tree is beautiful, don't you? It lives, even though it looks dead.
I'm going to start walking towards the portal.
Okay.
Always do.
All right, sounds good. He looks and he says, "What happened to your friend? She's missing a head."
Yeah, we're trying to help her out so she can get ahead in the world.
I think she lost her mind.
She had a burning desire to be somewhere else.
So you all stand near that portal. You can feel the warmth of the sun that's kind of coming through that image, kind of bearing down on you. You can almost feel it in your soul. Reminds you much of what you had left in the Forgotten Realms since you've been in this world of darkness and gray. And
So we have to make a tough decision, right? Isn't that what it told us before?
I'm going to try stepping through the portal.
so you see C4 tries to step through, and as he does, he almost rubber bands it, like rubber bands in, and then it bounces him back out.
Damn servers.
Does each of us have to make that decision, or just one of the group?
I don't know if it was ever clear, was it? I don't remember what I told you all.
I don't think it's said, other than just that, I don't think it's said any way or the other.
Is there any writing on the portal?
There's not. There's a lot of sort of nature glyphs that you see around there. Oh, actually, I forgot. You are a druid, right?
Yeah. It's me, Pip Shortstock, the druid.
I forgot. I keep thinking you're a cleric for some odd reason. All right, so you kind of look at the writing that's there, and see that the other group continues to sort of watch you curiously.
Hey, C4, set Arian down and then try and go through.
Alex says, "Are you leaving her here for me?"
No. Oh, we're just testing something out here. It says to activate, give up something you care about.
CC4 just sort of stands there almost motionless, right? Holding Aaron's body and looking at the portal, and he almost doesn't seem like he even hears you. Tony and Snortle. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, Pip. Go ahead, Pip. Or whoever.
Yeah, Snortle says, well, no, I ain't gonna say that. I was gonna say Snortle passes up a fuck. You can give that up. Oh no. Maybe we just go on through.
I'll try and step through again.
Okay. So as you do that, you see Bellic is sort of getting closer, and he just before you try to step through, both of you, he says, "Is there something you found? Did you figure it out?" And Snortle, as you try to step through, you kind of had the same thing, right? It sort of it stretches and kind of bounces you back out, and C4, you attempt it again, and the same thing happens.
I got from my background, a token from my parents. I'm not sure what it is.
Okay. All right. So you have.
I'll drop that on the ground and then I'll give it up and then try and go through.
All right. As that happens, the Pip disappears. And you guys all hear Bellic go, "Figured it out. Please tell me. Tell me."
I grab a hunting trap out of my pack and drop it.
Alrighty.
And go through.
Okay. Yeah, he goes through as well. As he steps through, Stoney goes through, and you hear Bellic, he's even more pressed now. He looks to Snortle and he says, "What is the secret? Tell me."
And I say, you need these prayers. And I throw them in and I go through.
Alrighty. And Snortle disappears, and Bellic is clearly... Okay, you see Bellic is clearly angry at this point, and he says, "What? Come back here!" And he kind of reaches out for C4, but C4, as you step through, I seen the message you sent. That's what you're going to leave?
Yep.
Okay.
The entire thing.
Yep. So he drops your thing and your manacled wrist, and you step through. But as you do, he doesn't actually grab you. He grabs Aaron's body. And you step through the portal. Both of you hanging on to it. Yep.
She won't go with me then?
So as soon as you step through, her body won't, because she didn't give anything up.
She gave her life.
I left my
Yeah.
All right, that's fair. I'll let you keep her. So kind of weird, but yeah, okay. So if you guys need a token, if you need a token, I guess that works. So as you step through, and you kind of hear him just screaming at you, C4, as you step through. All of you, you're sort of in this sort of state where you still see the portal. I mean, you've stepped
feel like you've stepped through, but in the same token, you feel like you're still standing there. And as a few seconds go by, nobody sees anybody else, right? And you start to see these visions in this portal. And the first vision is this one that you see, and it's in front of your eyes for a few seconds, right? And you sort of see this large skeleton and this manticore and this fighter battling it out. And then the second vision, you see a town that has literally been razed to the ground, and there's giant ogres kind of climbing through the river that's there, and rocks being thrown and dragons in the sky. And then another vision quickly flashes through to your sights, and you see these creatures sort of crawling out of the walls, and their teeth are grim and whatnot, and it looks so lifelike. And then you see another picture of a devil of sorts in this sort of large torture chamber, kind of walking through, and you see somebody's hand just at the bottom of there trying to reach up, and you can see the devil is sort of heading towards him as that occurs. And then just as that last picture comes in, you all are sort of dumped out into this green field, this pastures of sorts that is there. And you guys are sitting there, and you can feel the sun sort of beating down. And the picture that you saw in the portal is kind of what you see, is these nice rolling hills that are there. And you see some mountains that are off to the north. And you're sort of in this nice little meadow with some birds chirping and, just kind of this real pleasant sort of feeling and sounds.
This is a neat place. Is there any small animals in talking range? Or?
Yeah, you kind of take a look around, and you can hear some birds and squirrels, and you see like rabbits that are off in a distance bouncing around and everything.
And there's blue sky.
There's beautiful blue sky. It's just, it feels right.
I can see colors again, guys. Garen would love this.
I'm going to talk to one of the chipmunks or one of the squirrels.
Okay.
Any food around here? Got my forest gnome.
All right, gotcha.
Okay,
So you see he kind of goes over and he starts to talk to him. How about the rest of y'all? C4, you look down at your arm.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever you left is gone.
Wrist and hand.
Yep. How about the rest of you as he's reaching down to talk? Anything else that you wanted to add? Do while he's
Nope.
looking?
Still dead.
So as you talk to them, Pip, you ask if there was any food around?
Yeah, that's the squirrel.
I hate you, by the way. I'm just going to tell you that right now. We've been down this road before in the
What,
past.
the squirrel? Yeah, this is why I did it.
Smart,
Yeah.
smart ass.
Don't tell me how to roleplay my character.
I knew
I'm
as
a
soon
forest gnome.
as you said that, I'm like, you little shit. I remember doing this before.
Pip doesn't, because that wasn't Pip.
All right. So anyways, the squirrel goes, yeah, nuts everywhere. There's nuts all over. Come on, follow me. And he kind of bounces down the hill. Doop, 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 doop.
I'm going to go follow.
All right. So you follow him, and he starts digging under the dirt, and he's, oh, here's a nut. And he pulls out like a little acorn and chews it. He's like, come on, follow me. I'll show you more. And he kind of hops down the hill.
I'll keep following him.
All right. Next thing you know, he's kind of digging in the dirt, and he's like, it's here someplace. And then he kind of bounces, and he starts digging in the dirt here. It's over here. And he keeps kind of bouncing, and he's like, nuts. I love nuts.
I'll start digging around looking for nuts.
All right, so you start digging next to the squirrel. Why don't you give me a percentile die? How about the rest of you? While he's digging in the dirt?
Is the squirrel still close to him?
It is, yeah, it's right next to him.
I'm going to shoot it because I'm hungry.
All right, ranged attack. If you don't find any nuts on your digging, oh, that's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. So, Pip, next thing you see, this arrow hits the squirrel, and he just kind of like paws her up and just sort of falls over backwards with an arrow sticking out of his chest.
I'm gonna start a fire.
I'm just gonna look at Stony. Keep digging.
All right.
We all eat different stuff. I'm a carnivore. Sorry.
Did you say it was wooded area around here?
It is. It's got like patches of woods, copses, and things like that, and there's rolling hills. There's lots of grass. It's kind of a beautiful sort of picture.
I'm going to look for a really nice looking tree, and I'm going to walk over toward it.
Okay. Yep. You see one not too far away, about 50, 60 feet or so.
Perfect. I'm going to walk over to it. I'm going to set her body down, and then I'm going to start digging in the dirt.
Okay. Alrighty. Gotcha. So you start kind of digging through the dirt that's there. How about you, Snortle?
Oh, Snortle just walks around. He sits down and lights his pipe.
Nice. See, he's kind of lighting it up. How about the rest? So Stony, you're starting to make a fire. Pip, you have a dead squirrel with an arrow sticking out of its body. C4, you're digging up the hole over there. And you see Stony comes over, right, Stony? Pick up that squirrel.
Yeah. Pick up the squirrel and my arrow, and then I'll dress it and stick it on a spit and roast it over the fire for a little while.
Pip, are you still digging for nuts?
Yep, still digging for nuts.
So you see Pip is like digging around and trying to find nuts as he's digging through, and Snortle, you're smoking your pipe, and C4, you've had some time to really sort of dig out you got one arm, so it takes you a little bit longer than it normally would to dig this hole that you're digging. And Stony, you're dressing the squirrel and put it on there, and it's roasting up pretty nicely. It smells pretty good.
After the hole is done, I figure it's going to take me quite a bit of time to dig the hole.
Yeah, I think so too.
Since I'm digging it with my hand. After I've got the hole dug, I'm going to just drop her body in it and then start covering it back up.
Okay.
There's no ceremony. I just drop the body.
Gotcha. So you just kind of drop it in there, belongings and everything, right? Right into the hole?
Yeah, I just drop her in there.
Okay, so you kind of drop her down into the hole, and you guys see him kind of put her body in there.
I'm going to shake my head. Why did we bring her back? If that was what we were going to do.
I'll start pantomiming this story.
All right, so he's pantomiming. I think it's a performance, right?
I'm trying to watch and catch on.
Are we still doing that? Yeah, I think we are.
No, I'm not. I'm just I am pantomiming a digging motion, and then tapping something on the ground, and then shaking my head, and then pantomiming, turning 90 degrees, and pantomiming a digging motion again.
Stony, can I have a intelligence roll, and we'll see if you can figure it out. Yep, you got about what he said, right?
Yeah, it looks like he's digging a hole and saying yes.
Right.
That's about all I get out of that.
Right.
I just keep eating my squirrel. Has he filled the hole in?
He's working on it. It takes him a while. He's using his feet, though, I'm sure. So it'll be a little faster than what he dug it.
I don't know if anyone noticed what I don't have with me anymore.
I think it would be pretty obvious. Don't you?
He's missing a hand and an arm, right?
Yep.
No, I'm missing my arm. I'm missing a hand and the wrist on one arm.
Okay.
I've seen this movie before. He's missing a brain.
Right.
You got me confused with some other Tin Man.
Uh, so yeah, so you guys kind of sit back and relax, and Pip, eventually you do find a nut.
Awesome. I'm gonna
You
take it
guys,
back by the fire. Accomplished.
you see, there's about 39 holes all throughout the hill that he has dug. So it looks like it's been a bunch of groundhogs that have now lived here.
Where's some fucking gophers?
I asked Snortle if he knows what C4 is doing.
I don't know. Looks like he dug a hole.
Anybody got any idea where we are?
I nod my head no.
I don't know if nature'd do it or not. Do I recognize the plants and trees and stuff?
Yeah.
I do have the Wanderer feature.
Oh yeah, tell me about that feature again. I forget what that is.
Because I have an excellent memory for maps, geography, and can always recall the general layout of the terrain, settlements, and other features around me.
Gotcha. So I guess the question I have for you, have you ever traveled to the Shining South?
I'm going to have to say no.
All right. So the area does not look familiar at all to you. Um, it, it it seems so. I'll give you a little bit of information. It does seem to be much farther south than you would expect, or that you know it's like towards the equator type of thing, of the world that you live in, or at least that type of temperate. So it's definitely not the equator, but closer than what you're used to. So you doubt that there's actually winter here, or if there is, they don't ever see snow, and the trees don't ever really lose all their leaves.
Is there anything that I can see that would make it seem like this isn't where we originally came from, planet wise? I mean, world wise.
Yeah, so it's probably difficult to say for you, just because it looks very similar. But so you assume it? Yeah, I guess you assume it's probably the same place, right? I mean, you've been to other worlds now, so maybe not, but it seems the same.
I'm just gonna say, if this is the same world that we started in, we're a lot further south than I've ever been before.
There's no like green sun or green
Nope.
orange grass or anything like that.
Yeah, nope, nothing like that. It looks exactly like we have here, and what you would expect, in the Forgotten Realms, and maybe other worlds if they exist.
Yeah, I recognize some of the plants, but I've heard about these. I just never been this far south.
Is there a creek or a
Yep.
river anywhere nearby?
Yep, there is. You do see there's a large river that sort of runs to the south of you, what you would expect would be the south. You can see it meandering, and there is a... yeah, on the other side of the river, you do see that there is a... sorry, the river is to the north of you. I apologize. And you see just past the river, there's these hills and these large mountains that kind of come up to the northwest. And to the south of you, sorry, that's what I meant. There is a what appears to be a sort of a wagon road. You can see kind of the ruts. It seems to be pretty well traveled. It's not it's got grass in between the two ruts where wagons would be, but the ruts are thick enough that it looks like it's traveled fairly often.
Well, I was going to say we could follow the river downstream till we come to something, but there's a road over there, so let's take the road.
That sounds good. Do you want to rest first?
What time of day can we tell?
Yeah. So it appears to be early morning.
We might as well travel for the rest of the day, and then, because if we rest, we'll be up all night.
Well, that's a good point.
Were you thinking a short rest or a long rest?
Or we could rest all day and all night and leave tomorrow morning.
We could do that.
Do a short rest.
Yeah, it won't help me. Well, it might restore one. Will that restore one hit dice?
I don't remember. Why don't we just do it and we'll see?
Sure.
I mean, you guys were like cooking food and digging a hole and holes and smoking a pipe and. Or I can't remember the rules on that. It did.
I use my healing surge.
Alrighty.
Other two.
Okay.
I go look at Iron and I'm like, well, it didn't help her any.
She's in the bottom of a hole that's half filled in. What are you talking about?
She's still dead.
Wow.
I thought she might come out.
Well, if we'd left her with Belloc, she might have come back.
Yeah.
So you all kind of rest there for a little while, and again, you know, you kind of see small little games sort of moving through the hills and whatnot. Sort of a very peaceful and serene.
Well, should we move on now then?
Sounds good. Take the road.
Yep.
All right. So as you kind of continue down the road and are sort of following the road and the river, again, you sort of have this kind of these undulating hills that you walk through. You can feel that sun sort of beating down on you. You got that nice warm with the cool breeze blowing through. You do see there's patches of wildflowers that kind of grow on the side of the road as you walk. And you see off in the distance what looks like a town or a small town, and it's built right next to the river. The river kind of comes up next to it, and you can see that as you're coming in. And there's some farm fields that are around, and you did see, you know, way off in the distance, off from the road, there was like maybe a house that was there or whatnot that was way far away, probably, you know, half a mile or so. You could kind of see it. But you can see there's this town, and there's multiple buildings that are there, and whatnot. And it appears to be, even from where you're at, you can see, you know, kids kind of running through the fields there and whatnot. So it does look like a fairly busy town. There's like orchards and brown, you know. Yeah, we can, sure. We're going to take just a real quick break. We got about an hour left, but just a real quick break, and then we'll come back, okay?
Okay.
Sounds good. I need coffee.
Get me some.
You still there, Brian?
Yeah, I'm still here.
So did you complete that module as it was supposed to be played? Did you run it, or?
I played it a few times.
You've played it a few times, have you? How did that last fight? Was that last fight usually pretty fun?
Yeah, it was fairly exciting because you usually got hit with the twig blights going through the, as you're moving south.
Right.
And that fight was kind of tough. You
Yeah.
really had to take the tree out first.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So
And that's what the alchemist fire was handy for,
yeah,
because the
That-
tree's vulnerable to that.
that's why I kind of gave an out, because I'm like, there's no way you guys at your current state would ever have any chance of taking that
No,
battle.
we would have died. We would have
Yep.
died.
Very
We'd
quickly.
have died.
Very quickly. So that's why I was like, I'll give you an out just to see, if you don't want to take it, you don't take it. But
Yeah, but it was all usually a pretty tough fight. Hey, I felt so bad. It was like Adventures League, and one of the guys I was playing with it in, he he died on the final fight. Like, I died, and so he didn't get credit for none of the XP. Wasn't able to get no treasure and nothing like that for
oh
Adventures
no,
League. I'm like, oh man, that sucks.
it's too bad.
Yeah,
You played at level 2 as well, or level 1, level 2?
level 1, level 2 on it.
Now in Adventures League, they put level 1s and level 2s and level 3s together, right? Isn't it a tiered system type of thing?
Yeah, it is a tiered system, but like for this one here, I mean, you wouldn't like if the DM goes, by Adventures League rules, he can play within it, but the DM also has the discretion. Like, I don't want anybody but level 1s in there.
Gotcha. Okay. Alrighty, that makes sense.
Trying to keep people close together.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd play through this one for a few times because I think you get, what is it? Well, you get a +1 longsword named Shatter Spike out of it.
Okay.
And I can't remember what the hell else that was out there. I know we didn't get into the little the room where you have that one fountain and the thing where you go into a room there, and I think it had zombies or something like that in it.
Yep.
I think there was something in there too.
Little trap guy in a cage too, and stuff like that.
Yep. I tell you, the first time I played it, I didn't know the adventure, and it wasn't even Adventures League, but the place where the goblins were on the parapet there, and were able to shoot you down, and you had the caltrops there.
Yep.
I had a halfling or something like that. Anyways, we wrenched the door off, and me and another halfling went through there, holding that door over us for full cover,
Awesome.
Sweeping away the caltrops where our party could rush through rush them.
I love it.
Yep, it was a pretty good idea.
That's a great idea.
So, the halflings held the door over them. Like, I had a halfling fighter, so there was one other halfling with us, or gnome or something like that, 2 small folks. And I was holding the door, moving, walking forward while they were taking the round to sweep, the caltrops out of the way. And the goblins were plugging away at us. But we basically had, I think the DM gave us like 3/4 cover or something like that. And they were just missing.
That's awesome.
Oh, is that when you played this the last time?
Yeah, we were kind of chatting about stuff.
I played it a few different times. I'd played it like at least 3 or 4 times.
How many people got killed by the book when you were playing it?
The book got people before. I don't remember exactly for each time, but the book got people before.
Yeah, that book pretty nasty.
Yep.
How many dice was it?
Don't remember. I can look here and see.
Oh, I think it was 5.
Was it 5d8?
I think it's 5d8.
Yeah, I think it is too. It was above, the die roll was above average. I think if she hadn't had damage already, would it have killed her? Is it?
Yeah,
28?
because I only had 14 hit points and it was 20 whatever.
26.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
okay.
If
I
you
want
were
to say it was
fully
26.
healed, it would have
Yeah, it
taken
was
28
26,
to
yeah.
kill you.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. I think it was 26 was the damage, but
Is that the end of that adventure, Greg?
it is. We were just kind of chatting about it a little bit. It doesn't end that way. There's actually a huge fight at the end, but I gave you an out because otherwise it would have been done in about one turn.
Oh, we would have been dead.
Oh yeah, you would have got smoked.
Because of the health, or just
No, I
being
think
low level?
yeah, no, I think you would have to be fully ready for that battle. Don't you think, Brian?
Yep. You'd have to pretty well be healed up.
Yeah, you have all your stuff and everything,
And not be missing one of the players.
yeah, that too. Well, I mean, the adventure's written for 4, but yes, not missing one of the players is important too. So, because I mean, Brian may have noticed or not noticed, but I beefed it all up quite a bit. So, because it was 5 of you, not quite a bit, but I beefed. All right, everybody's back. Okay, so you're walking up the road. You see this town that's in front of you or ahead of you. People kind of moving about in the town. You can kind of see them playing and whatnot.
I guess we're gonna head there, right?
Looking for an inn. Is there anywhere to sleep?
Yep.
Yeah. So as you continue down the road, you see that the road kind of descends down, and you see that there's this. The city seems to, or the town seems to be on both sides of the river, and they have these 2 long ropes that sort of stretch across the river itself. And you see there's these ferry boats that kind of go back and forth, and there's these 6 sort of stone pillars that appears that maybe it held a bridge at one point that's missing. And on the road in, you see there's a what looks like 3 or 4 armed townsfolk or something that are sort of sitting there on the edge of the road heading in, and they kind of sort of watch you sort of warily as you're looking over the town.
I'll go up and talk to one of them.
All right. So as you kind of walk up, he says, "Oh, state your business,
Hey.
strangers."
I'm Pip Shortstock. This is Snortle, Stony, C4. We were wondering if you had a place to stay and what town this is.
He looks at you and he says, "You have a place to stay. What's up with the armored guy? Looks pretty tough."
He's he's special.
I wave my stump at him, forgetting that I don't have a hand.
Eyes get a little bit big, and he kind of looks and he says, "Seen any orcs?"
No orcs. We've seen goblins, kobolds, tree-infected people.
Those woods over there. He kind of points behind him, and you see he sort of points towards the north on the other side of the river. Says, "The Wolf of Forest has tons of goblins in there. Like that's they're crawling in there."
Oh, are they?
I wouldn't go in there if I was yourself. What, kobolds? Yeah. What else?
Booming Book of Cold, tree people. Then there's this guy who had bark on his face. Portal.
I'm going to tap him on the shoulder, and when he looks at me, when Pip looks at me, I'm going to hold my arms out and flap them up and down, and then open my mouth like something's coming out of it.
Oh, and a talking dragon. That's right. I forgot about that. Thanks, C4. Talking dragon. Trying to think of anything else. Oh, hobgoblins.
Hobgoblins.
Anyway, we were just looking for a place to stay.
Hobgoblins indeed. Spits on the ground. Damn things have been sulking around those mountains for quite some time. Lucky you came through there, you know?
Yep, sure are.
Oh, the old Bridge Inn is just ahead. It's over on your left. I'd probably recommend that. You always could try the Green Apple on the other side if you wanted. That's another one too. But well, anyways, either of those two places are fine. But the old Bridge is what I like myself, to be honest.
The old Bridge Inn, huh? Is there any work around here?
Work, maybe.
Yeah.
Could have. I guess I'd probably recommend. You can maybe speak to Captain Serrana, or maybe even Kellen's Shadowbanks. He's a little tyke like you, so he may have some work for you.
All right.
Oh, you want to know where you were at?
Yeah.
You're at Cothlan's Ferry, of course. It's a strange question, don't you think? I mean, don't you know where you are when you travel?
Well, sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. We went through a portal, so we weren't sure.
Portal? What is that?
Portal. It's a stone thing. It looks like a picture frame, and then you step through it. You end up somewhere else.
Heard of it. You are definitely odd folk. You know that?
Really?
A couple of days, like a day and a half ago, we were in Daggerford. So
Daggerford? Never heard of it.
I've never heard of Coughlin.
You are not anywhere near home, then, are you?
No.
Oh,
Is there a place that has a map that shows where we are?
He looks at you and he says, I don't have a map. You mean in town?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could check with the mayor. He may have a map. Or Whiston. He could. You also could check with the of course, Sertian the Wise, the town wizard. I'm sure he has a map.
All right. Sertian the Wise, eh?
Yeah. Sertian the Wise. So this is sort of the map that you see here. You guys are down here at the very bottom of the map.
Oh, okay. So is the Bridge Inn like 8?
Bridge Inn is number 10. Sorry, I don't have them labeled.
Oh,
I
okay.
misspoke. It's on the right, not the left. And then the other one is number
All right. Guess head up to the Bridge Inn. Take a nap.
All right. So as you kind of walk down the streets, you see that there is general people milling about, mostly humans that you see. There is some halflings, and you do see some... Sorry. You do see an occasional gnome that may run through and whatnot. But interestingly, you don't see Stony, you don't see any half-orcs that are around. As a matter of fact, people are sort of a little like, they try to like hide a little bit from you when they finally see you. In C4, there's definitely no Warforged. And you also notice that there are no dwarves. There are no elves that you see.
Interesting.
the Old Bridge Inn is a large inn. Definitely it seems to be kind of a bigger place. It's 3 stories. You do see that it appears to be fairly busy, and there's quite a bit of people milling about outside and kind of drinking drinks and whatnot. And you see, the doors are open and the windows are open. You get a nice smell of what smells like sort of fried potatoes kind of coming through with onions type of smell. Cooked onions.
Nice. I'm gonna barge in.
Wonder if they have any squirrel.
Too soon.
All right, so you kind of barge in there, and as you do see that it's a large kind of dining hall that's there. You see there's lots of people milling about, and all the people that work there appear to be halflings.
Ooh, bet the food's good. Go find the innkeep. Get me
Okay.
a room.
How about the rest of y'all? So you kind of go in there and you start milling through the tables and the people and whatnot. And there's quite a few people there.
I'll stand over next to the table wherever they're sitting.
I try not to be too intimidating.
Alrighty. So you try to kind of not hide yourself, but sort of just try to be sort of like
Meek.
meek. Yeah, that's it. I was gonna say that. I was like, I'm not sure if that's exactly what he means, but all right. So you
That's
try
what,
to be.
that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not sure how successful I am.
Yeah. All right. So you do that as well and try to be meek. How about Snortle?
Snorkel goes over there and sits down at the table.
All right.
Orders a drink.
All right, so you kind of sit down and you see one of the small halflings, smaller than the normal size halflings, kind of comes over. Appears to be maybe, I don't know, a young kid, maybe just starting into the teenage years of halflings, and comes over and says, "What you drinking?"
Oh, I will have your strongest drink.
Ah, you bet. For those big muscles you got, huh? You're an interesting fella. I've never seen talking turtle.
Well, we're quite famous down south.
Really? What did you do? Did you get like bewitched?
Ooh, I was born this way.
Wow. I was born this way too. And kind of pulls both ears out and tries to make the ears look really big and sticks out its tongue at you.
I look back and like, run along. Get my drink.
Okay. What's
I'll
your
have
name?
a glass of draft, whatever you got on tap.
She goes, "Yeah, yes, sir. Absolutely. I'll get you whatever you want." She looks and she says, "You, yeah. Anyways, yeah, I could do that." And so you see her kind of run off. C4, you're with her as well, or with them as well. I wasn't sure where you were at.
They were sitting at a table, right?
They were. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm standing next to it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. She kind of looks up to you and she says, "What does the gentleman in the armor want to drink?"
I nod my head no.
Oh, she goes, "Okay." She kind of goes bouncing, and you hear behind the bar, you hear somebody yell, Courtney, come on, hurry up!" And it looks like a much older halfling. He's got a lot of gray hair and a large sort of wispy sort of mustache that kind of hangs down over his mouth, even though it's kind of real thin. He's like, "Come on, Courtney, hurry up. Get back over here. We got other people to serve. You can't be doing all that talking." As you start walking up there, Pip, you see he appears to be the innkeep.
Hey, how you doing over here?
Hey,
Down
what's
here.
up? Oh, hey, we're the same height.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
pretty nice, isn't it? I'm
Yeah.
always looking up. It hurts my neck. Bad
I mean-
economics.
I get it, man. I've been running this place for a long time, and I gotta tell you what, he kind of stretches his net back. It almost unnaturally goes back. He's like, "See what happens when you're looking up all the time? You can get your head to go way back. How far back can your head go?"
Oh, yeah, mine's the same way.
Let me see.
Move my
Oh,
head
yeah.
back.
Oh, you young whippersnapper, you got some ways to go yet, so keep stretching. You'll get there. You'll get it there.
So I was wondering, you got any rooms for us?
Hey, Kellen. Kellen Shadowbanks. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Kellen Shadowbanks. I'm Pip. Pip
Hey.
Shortstock.
Hey, Pip Shortstock. Nice to meet you. From the Shortstock clan, I take it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Shortstock
yeah.
Clan. We're
I'm
from
the
Waterdeep.
Shadowbanks clan. Oh,
Shadowbanks Clan. Oh.
what? Come on. Where are you really from?
Oh, Waterdeep.
No. You are not from Waterdeep. Nobody
Yeah.
from Water. No. No. Nope. No way.
I can provide references.
References? He kind of looks at you and he's like, wait a minute. He's like, hey, Court. And you see the little girl that came from the table. She comes running over. She's like, Dad, there's really, really cool people over there. I mean, one of them's like a turtle. And he's like, stop talking about your fairy tales. And he kind of looks over and he's like, can you go grab your book? And Courtney kind of runs and he looks and he says, oh, sorry, you were saying?
Oh, that's Snortle. So anyway, yeah, I'm
Huh?
from Waterdeep, the forest in Waterdeep.
Okay, all right. So, we could do this all day, but I don't believe you're from a storybook. Okay, so let's just keep it at that. All right, and tell me what you. He's like, is that a turtle?
Yeah, that's Snortle.
Is he? He's big.
Yep.
Looks over and he says,
Talks kind of slow.
Is that an orc?
He's half orc.
Only on my father's side.
Oh, and he kind of looks over and he says, and you have a fighter, an armored man. He's in full plate.
I waved my stump at him.
Very interesting book. Very interesting group. And just at that point, you see Courtney comes back, and she has this book, and it's a child's book. And she says, "Here you go, pops," and she starts to run over and starts to get drinks, and he brings it over to you, and he sets it on a shorter table, right, than the humans use. He puts the book down and he opens it up, and in the front of the book it says, "Fairy Tales of Waterdeep." He's like,
wait. When he sets the book down and opens it, does Pip cringe and lean back away from the book since the last one caused some trouble?
Maybe, I don't know. That's fair. But you do. You kind of like cringe back, right, as you see the book open. So he opens it up and he points to it, and you see there's like it says Fairy Tales of Waterdeep, and you see there's a picture of what looks like Waterdeep on there, and he's like, see, this, you're not gonna fool me. I know this is all a fairy tale. So where are you really from, son?
There's Waterdeep. And I'll take the book and I'll start flipping through the pages. Is there any maps in there or anything?
So there is, and as you look at it, you see maps around Waterdeep, right? I mean, you see there's the city of Daggerford, and there's a story about the witches of Neverwinter, and there's even a story about a dark elf with a panther.
Ooh, I've read all 14 novels of that one.
So he kind of shakes his head and he's like, "That's okay, stranger. You don't have to tell me where you're really from. It's okay."
Well, you see that on this map, this is where Bob Browncoat lives right here. This is where I stayed.
He kind of looks at it and he's like, "Oh, brown." He says, "Hang on one second." He flips to the back and goes down the index. He's like, "There's no brown coat, brown Bob, Billy in here."
Well, he's a normal guy. He's, nothing special about.
I see. And so he's like, and he continues to kind of look at the book, and Courtney kind of brings back the drinks to you guys at the table, and she kind of slaps them down for the two of you, and you kind of look around and you see that the room now is really sort of focused on your party, because you realize that everybody in here is human, other than the halflings.
So I'd like to rent a room. You got a group discount?
Oh yeah. We'll give you a room. Are you looking for everybody to be in the same room?
No. One of them snores.
So you need two.
I do not.
You yell that across the room.
Yeah. Forgetting
shake
that
my
I'm trying
head
to
yes.
be meek.
I shake my head yes.
Kellen kind of ducks under the table as you yell that. He kind of peeks over the edge with his little eyes looking over. And you nod your head yes, C4?
No, I shake my head yes.
Oh, you shake your head yes. He says, "Well, we do have good rooms. He says they're very nice, and they do have 2 beds in each one, and it's 2 gold a night."
Oh wow, 2 gold. Expensive. All right.
We have enough.
We'll take what? Let's see here. 2 rooms.
Ah, very good. And he kind of puts out his palm and hand up and kind of indicates to you.
Okay, I'll give him 4 gold.
All right, gotcha. So he takes the 4 gold pieces, and as you do that, he looks at it and he says, "This is a strange stamp on this gold. Where did you get this coin?"
Barovia? Maybe.
So you say Barovia, and you see that the innkeep shakes his head and he says, "Listen, if you all want to be all secretive, it's okay, but you don't have to use storybook names, okay? I mean, like, need something different. I mean, you're not going to scare the kids with stories about Barovia." Takes the gold, puts it in his pocket, and he goes to the back and pulls out 2 keys and hands them to both keys to you. Says, "Welcome to town. It's nice to meet you. And I you look pretty armored. I think maybe you could help out with the town's watchmen or something when you're in town, unless you're just passing through."
That's a good point. I think we're possibly passing through though.
Ah. Well, that's the way it goes. If you're heading towards Bryn Mawr, it's a beautiful city. Matter of fact, the king will be here probably in a couple weeks. We're having a big festival celebration, so you feel free.
I'm going to ask the little kid at the table who's hiding under the table here. I says,
Yeah.
"Why aren't there anything but humans and halflings here? Why aren't there other, like, dwarves or elves or..."
She kind of looks at you and she says, well, the dwarves are they don't like us, and they're hiding in their mountain, and they're probably building up big armies, and they're probably going to kill us all. So that's why there's no dwarves here."
Sounds reasonable.
And the elves, they live in the woods, and they shoot arrows at people, and they kill them, and that's why there's no elves that live here either.
I wonder why they do that.
Because they're mean. That's why.
Okay.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I've never run into mean dwarves and elves before.
I've never seen a mean dwarf or an elf either. Well, they're not all mean. I mean, Moreland Coalhewer, he's pretty nice, and he's a dwarf, but he's been here before the dwarfs left. So he's a pretty nice guy.
Interesting.
Well, and of course, if you're mostly human, you're fine too, right? So, I mean, there may be some people that maybe have some elvish blood in them, but as long as they're mostly or have some human, like you look like you're human, right?
Yes, on my mother's side, yes.
Yes. So you're fine. You're okay, right? Because you're
okay.
not you don't have your dad's bad blood in you, right? Right. Exactly. So if as long as you have mostly human, you're fine. Or you were here before the purge, of course. Right. Exactly.
Definitely, I was here before the purge.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Or the purge.
What was the purge? I just say that in my head. I didn't say that out loud.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So she kind of skips along and whatnot, and
kind of looks around and kind of helps other people in the store and whatnot.
I'm gonna ask her what was the purge?
He goes, "Really aren't from here, are you? Are you really from Waterdeep? I love Waterdeep. It's my favorite book.
Yeah, I'm from Waterdeep.
I try not to listen in too much, but it sounded like you were from Waterdeep. Please tell me, the statues really move?"
In Waterdeep?
Yeah, the guardians of the city.
I never really made it out of the little forest. They called it a park.
Oh, um, is there
I
really
did once, and then I ended up here.
is there really a monster called Xanathar?
Not sure.
I bet you've met him,
Never
haven't you?
told me about that.
Okay. Well, all right. I think it's fascinating. Can you tell me some stories tonight?
Oh, sure. I got tons of stories.
Oh, great. I love stories. She kind of claps and whatnot, and she literally like starts to sit down on the floor cross-legged in front of you when you hear her dad say, "Court, come on, Court, let's go. You got work to do." "I can't do it right now. Can you tell him later?"
Sure. I'll tell you all about Chip Baldgate and how you had to go find the seed. It was really dangerous.
That sounds awesome. And you hear, "Court, rats, I gotta go. Dad's such a downer." Skipping off.
Yep.
You're all sitting there. You got your 2 drinks. You got your 2 room keys. Kind of hanging out in the bar area here.
I'm gonna pop a good berry and go crash out, guys.
I think I'll go upstairs and take a nap too.
Okay. So you head upstairs, and the 2 of you do. So Stony, you and C4 are kind of sitting there, and you see people kind of coming and going inside the inn that are there. There's kind of discussions that are happening. You hear them talking about, farming and the world that's around them here and whatnot. General chit chat.
Anybody talking about any problems they're having?
Yeah. So as you listen, you do hear that there's this discussion of these orc raiders that have sort of been pillaging the farmsteads and the hills to the north of the town on the other side of the river. You hear them kind of talking about that, and you even heard that that there's rumors that one had been captured, and they were discussing. They're like, yeah, Captain Serrano is really gonna question that one and find out what's going on and whatnot. So you did hear that that story about these orcs that seem to be running through the hills there. It seemed to pique your interest since obviously your dad side of things.
Yeah, the bad guy.
Right. So you do hear that, and you even hear that there's some rumors that there's a bounty for orc, dead or alive, as well. So you do hear that there's some discussion about that where they're like, yeah, the mayor's even willing to pay that. Yeah.
I slide my lip over my fangs.
Yeah, right. yeah, you got a big overbite now. So you do hear kind of discussion about that, and you do hear that there's the dwarf that's in town has been talking about wanting these sort of mythical weapons from an old dwarven fortress that has long been gone, and you can kind of hear him kind of discussing that as well. That supposedly has pristine weapons and even rumors of magical items within it too. You hear that?
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, and you hear there's discussions about through the that the valley has the Vale essentially is really kind of had a long period of prosperity since the purge, and you do hear there's this sort of, I don't want to say
anger, distrust. Well, not anger, but sort of a distrust of anybody that's Dwarvish or Elvish that you haven't met before, or they haven't met before. That you kind of hear this talk about how the elves were backstabbers, and they really came in and kind of destroyed the farms and homesteads, and they've retreated back into the woods after they were pushed back, and the dwarves have completely isolated themselves from everybody.
Sounds like they got a lot of problems in this neighborhood.
Does, right? I mean, just kind of general chit chat, but for the most part, people seem to be very well relaxed. You guys are the only ones armed in the inn itself, so
Nobody's paying real particular attention or giving me sidelong glances, are they?
they did when you first came in, and but you notice it's not necessarily you. I mean, you are not really what the focus is. The focus is more Snortle. To be honest with you, C4 they think is some armored dude. They don't really think much about him, but it's really Snortle that everybody is sort of gawking at, and you can hear whispers of wondering who bewitched him, and how what human got changed into a turtle, and what did he do, and did he eat some weird apple or something like that. So that's what you really hear.
Snortle's oblivious. He's just smoke. Oh, he's upstairs right now.
Yeah.
He's in his shed, smoking his pipe.
Pip's right next to you, getting a contact high.
Yeah, I'm sucking on an armhole.
Yeah, right.
That wasn't my armhole.
So yeah, but after he goes upstairs, you hear a lot of discussion about him and how fickle or not fickle, but how weird it is, right? That he is this walking turtle, and there's a lot of rumors and things of what he may have done as a human to be turned into a turtle.
I start whispering around that he's actually a prince and true love will save him.
I love it. Why don't you give me a persuasion roll? C4, you're kind of in sentry mode hanging out.
Yep.
All right.
I look exactly the same. It's just I'm in Sentry's Rest.
Gotcha. Okay. And as you say that, you see Court kind of comes around the corner of the table. She's like, I've read a story about that. I think the prince has to come kiss him. Right?
Princess.
Oh. Well, my story was a prince. Oh, yeah. You're right. So anyway, so she's like, you guys are the coolest people ever. Hey, what happened to the gnome guy? He was gonna read stories to me.
I think he was real tired and he went up to bed.
That's too bad. I kind of liked him. Maybe he'll talk to me tomorrow.
I say thanks. Thanks, and that's where I'm heading to.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. And I guess no more drinks for you then.
No, I'm tired.
Okay.
Had a rough couple of days.
Yeah, no kidding. So you kind of head up to your room, and as you walk in, you do see. Oh, I assume you grab C4.
I tell C4 I'm going. If he wants to come, he's welcome. I'm not going to grab him and try to carry him because he's way out of my league.
He's a pretty big guy, pretty big dude.
I will break sentry and follow him up.
Okay, sounds good. And you see that you kind of walk in, and as you do, you see Pip his head's like literally, almost inside the shell's little armhole there as he's puffing, and there's like this haze of smoke all throughout the entire room as you open up the door. Well, if you guys are in the same room, I forgot you got 2 rooms, so.
I think Pip and Snortle are.
All right.
There's smoke coming out from under their door, so I go to the other one.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. You see the smoke is wafting underneath the door, kind of billowing out. So, all right. So you and C4 go to the other room. All right. So you guys are able to sleep throughout the night without any difficulty?
Yeah, I'll stand in the middle of the room and go into sentry rest.
Okay. Sounds good. Morning comes about, and you all are there.
Well, I'll wake C4 up or break his sentry mode and say I'm heading down for breakfast. Should we wake up the other two, or do you think they need to rest it off a bit more?
I will shake my head yes, and then I'll walk out in the hallway and open their door.
All right. As you do, a billow of smoke comes out as you open up that door, and um,
Hey guys. Yeah. Stretch and go down.
And then I'll turn and follow Stony down.
okay. So as you go down, the three of you go down. Snortle, you're going too, I assume.
Yep, I am.
Alrighty, gotcha. So as you all sort of come down, you see there the area. You know, there's still people that are in there. They're serving breakfast now, and Courtney's not anywhere to be seen. But there's other halflings from the halfling clan that are sort of serving food and whatnot. And as you sit down, you see there's a kind of an older female, probably in her human. She's probably in her probably 50s, 60s age range. Tell that she's appears to be her skin is weathered and she has scars. You can see there's some scars on her face, and she's missing her pinky finger. And she kind of comes down and literally walks over to the table to you and grabs a chair next to it and slides down and sits down. And she says, "So you're the new group, huh?"
New group.
Yeah, new group in town. Delora Zahn. Nice to meet you. She puts her hand out to you.
Hey, Delora. I'm Pip
Hi.
Shortstock.
Yep, Shortstock. Nice to meet you. And who are your friends?
So this is Snortle, Stony, and C4.
Kind of looks to each of you, and she puts her hand out to each of you.
I'll stick my stump out to her.
She grabs onto it anyways and gives it a good firm shake. Shakes hands firmly with all of you. She's got this blondish gray hair, and it's sort of in this braid that goes back, and her shoulders are sort of very broad. You can feel that when she, kind of shakes your hand, those forearm muscles really tighten, and she's got a really strong grip. Like, well, I see you're in town. Are you passing through, or are you looking for some work?
A little bit of both. We're passing through, but we could use some money.
Well, Golflin could use a little assistance, I have to be honest with you. Back in my day with the Golden Drake Company, we would have taken care of this, but I've since retired, and I like this area, but I'm getting a little flabby, as you can tell.
I wasn't going
I
to say nothing.
I shake my head yes.
I say I don't think so.
Yeah, I was going to say, you look at her, and she's like rock solid, right? And she's sort of thrown back by Pip's comment, and she says, "Okay, where are you from? Not from here, I see."
From Waterdeep.
I got to be honest, it's kind of rude.
What's that? Oh, well, I was going to recommend like a greens and protein diet. Cut out that processed sausage they're making them back, maybe. I'm a nutritionist and a druid.
She says, "And what would you recommend?"
2 cups of greens in the morning and maybe an egg, and then I just go through my whole menu recommendation.
All right, you just got to keep going.
Yeah.
She just sort of listens. You see her eyes sort of glaze over as you're talking, and she just kind of sits there, being polite, listening. And finally, she's like, "Okay, all right, I'm not doing any of that crap." Okay, and then she looks over to Stony. She's like, "What did you said you're looking for work?"
Yeah, we could use some work. I think Pip was saying that.
Yeah, well,
you've got some muscle. I think you'll be all right. She reaches over and you can kind of feel your forearm and like, yeah, yep, I think that'll work.
Yeah, I clench my fists and make my forearm look really big. And
Nice. He says, well,
I'm showing off.
As well, I'm glad you got that strength. We need some dead orcs, and I'm gonna pay, or not I, but Mayor wanted me to reach out to you, and he's gonna pay 25 gold per orc. Think you can do that?
25 gold per orc?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sure.
What do we got to bring back? Do we bring
Uh,
anything back?
You need to end whatever's causing these orcs to kill and to maim and to pillage our villages. Once they're gone, then we'll be good.
Well, I mean, their bounty. Do you want like a right pinky finger? For the orcs.
You got to carry the whole orc back, of course.
The whole orc?
Yeah. Well, how else am I going to know it's an orc?
Could do. Yeah, I see your dilemma here.
I'll pantomime cutting a head off.
She kind of looks to you and she says, "A head? Fine."
Oh no, C4 wants to kill himself.
She's like, "Is he an orc? What's underneath that helmet?" She kind of reaches over and kind of puts her hands up towards your head. Let me see. Can't be that ugly.
All right, so we'll bring you back the heads of the orcs.
All right, fair. Bring back the heads of the orcs. You can bring them back alive too if you want.
Well, that might be easier. Less easier than carrying them anyway.
So it's a deal?
So where are these orcs again? They're in the mountains.
They are. Captain Serrano just kind of had one brought back, and we she questioned it, if you want to say that. And yeah, there's some. They have a lair up in the mountains, I guess. Some hill up there called Rockjaw, I think it was. Yeah, Rockjaw.
I think it's time for me to go home, and I'm turning and walking towards the door.
So he says that out clearly to you all. And he turns and walks towards the door.
Who was that? Was that
C4 said that.
Oh.
Verbally said that.
He said it out loud?
Yeah.
Where's home?
I'm just walking out the door.
Door closes behind him.
Huh.
So this Rockjaw.
Yeah.
Captain Serrana will be able to show us.
Yeah, I think she has a map. You're gonna need more people though. Only 3 of you. Unless
Yeah,
you're
we'll
going to his house
work
too.
that out. I'm pretty sure we'll pop into some people in the tavern. That's the way we usually build our parties.
All right, well, fair enough.
Is there a billboard in town? Like a for hire place?
Oh.
Or...
I thought you meant like, vote for me, so and so. So
a message board?
Yeah, right. I gotcha. So she says, well, I mean, the Green Apple is usually a good place, or I mean, if you're here too, and but not necessarily like you mean like a board where we post things?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe we should get one of those. Are you looking to?
I'm full of them, full of ideas.
You're looking to hire somebody? Is that what you're thinking?
We were thinking penny a message or a copper a message, and then
Actually, what we were thinking is we could advertise that we need some more people to join our group
Oh.
and profit share sort of thing.
Ah, I gotcha. So you're opening up a company. Well, you'll definitely have to go down and talk to the Market Guild. They
Where
got to get their
they
coin. They got to get their coin. Well, we really don't have one, but the speaker's house probably would work. Town speaker Whiston, maybe.
we got to talk to the guild, and you don't even have one. Look, we forget it. We'll see if we can find some people to help us.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. He nods and sits there. There's this awkward silence.
Yeah. It was good talk. I'll weigh over a halfling. I'll take eggs and potatoes.
And as you do that, she says, "I'll take eggs and potatoes too." Yeah.
I
Boy.
thought we talked about this. Greens, like 2 cups of greens and some eggs. Oh, never mind.
She just sort of sits there and kind of drums her fingers on the table and looks around. And
I'll ask for some bacon and eggs and toast.
All right, she gets you those, or the other person gets you those too. The halfling. Laura looks and she says, "Like rain today, doesn't it?"
I'll go look outside.
It looks pretty cloudy.
Yeah, looks like rain.
Yeah, it's probably going to rain in about 38 minutes.
It's going to rain in 38 minutes and 22 seconds.
So what does Snortle eat, by the way?
It's kind of he's more of a vegetarian, but he's an omnivore, but he eats more vegetables.
Oh, okay.
He likes flies and things like that,
Right. All right.
Pretty sure they eat grass.
Yeah.
He eats fish.
Okay.
Well, he's a turtle, so he's not a turtle.
They think he's a turtle.
He really eats vegetable, like carrots and celery and things like that.
Gotcha. So they bring over the food and kind of slap down the plates, and Delora just sort of clears her throat. Enjoy breakfast? I will, and starts digging in.
Mine's gone almost before the plate hits the table.
Sounds good. Delora, she kind of eats, and you notice she doesn't have that sort of refined eating technique. You can definitely tell that she's an adventurer, right? I mean, it's pretty obvious. She wolfs down the food pretty quickly, and kind of looks around and says, "Yeah, I hope you guys stay in town a long time. It'd be nice to have some muscle around. You know what I mean? Never know when something's going to happen."
Yeah. Hey, I saw that tree in the middle of the circle over here.
Yeah.
Number 2. What's that area?
What? Oh, that's the green. That's our big grassy field. Didn't you see the kids playing there? Every third day there's a kind of like a farmer's market type of thing. You can, buy stuff from the wares and things like that. But the kids mainly play there. It's a nice place. That tree's been there for, gosh, I don't know. It's hundreds of years, I think. It's a beautiful tree. Its trunk's about 12 feet in diameter. It's big.
Oh. I might have to go out there and check it out. That reminds me of home.
Yeah. Kids try to climb it. Not very good at it.
When I'm done eating, I'm going to go out there and check it out.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, so you finish up eating, and you kind of, I guess, step out and go outside, and she continues to sort of sit there, and then she sort of stands up after Pip goes out and puts her hand, Stony, on your shoulder and gives you a good tap and says, "Good to meet you."
Similar, same. Yeah, I'm glad to meet you too. Let's. Hey, is there a place where where people are looking for jobs?
You need another job other than killing orcs?
No. Where I can find people that are looking for work.
Oh, oh, not really. I mean, probably I'd probably check the inns. Maybe the brew house, Gosler's Brew House. That's a good one. Maybe check that one. It's on the other side of the river. We seem to have more. What do I want to say? Outsiders from Coughlin's Ferry on the other side of the river. That's um, more towards the people coming in, and some people don't want to spend the money for the ferry. But maybe check over there. That may have an option for you. And I gotta say, you don't seem to have any horses. If you're looking for some horses, swing over by my stables. I have some for modest fees, of course, and I have good ones. I take good care of them, and they do well. And you really need that to be able to travel the Dawn's Way, right?
Right.
Right. I even have a war horse for you that would probably fit you up pretty nice, to be honest.
Ooh, I might like that.
Yeah.
Have to see if I can afford it, but I'll see you later. Where's your stables?
So she says, "Well, you just you go out here and just go to the south. You probably saw it when you came in. There's a large penned-in area, a couple doors down on the left as you're heading out of town there. So it's beautiful. You
I
recognize it.
do remember seeing that yesterday.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So and then she looks over to Snortle and she puts her hands out.
Do you have any elephants?
Elephants? No, I don't have any elephants. I have a donkey.
Why not?
There are no elephants in the area.
Oh, well.
It says, nice to meet you. And your name was Sniffles?
It's Snortle.
Nice Snortle. Kind of bends down and she whispers into your ear and she says, I've had a turtle or two in the past. You're pretty rare, my friend.
Well, yes.
Kind of gives you a smile and a little bit of a wink. Says, don't forget, you need horses. I'm the girl. Gives a wave and walks to the door and walks out.
I'm gonna head over to the other side of the river.
All right, I gotcha. So as you step out, just to kind of describe what you have here. So there's an armory that's literally across the street in number 9. Number 13 is looks like a building that maybe is a warehouse of some sort. And then number 8 is kind of a large building. It looks to be built of stone and looks kind of like the town hall, courtroom, jail, things like that. And you see that outside there's some guards similar to what you saw on the street when you were coming in that are just kind of milling about, kind of sitting on the edge of the town or on the building, eating their breakfast and things like that. So you're heading over towards the to number 14, which is the ferry to get to the other side of the river, or are you heading? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So
Is
so
there
you
another way across?
Nope, unless you can swim. So
I could try, but I don't want to.
I don't blame you. So you start making your way there. Pip, I know you were heading to number 2. Snortle, are you just going to hang out in the inn?
I'll go to number 2 with Pip.
Okay, gotcha.
And do number 2.
That's awesome. So, and so you kind of head towards the tree that's there, and you see Pip is there. Pip, what are you doing over by number 2, other than doing number 2?
I'm like getting all like the little birds and squirrels and stuff together and telling them stories and junk like that.
Okay, all right, I gotcha. So all the kids are also gathered around you now, since you have all these wildlife around you and whatnot, and so they're all kind of checking out what you're doing. And of course, you got that snotty little boy in the back who's like kicking the squirrel and stuff like that.
Oh, be nice to the squirrel, and then I'll be acting things out. I'll be standing tall like Sir Bradford
Alrighty, gotcha.
with a fake shield and a stick, doing stories.
Sounds good. The kids also seem to be enthralled with you, and you seem to have gathered quite a crowd. You probably got about 30 kids, and I don't know, about 20 squirrels, a couple rabbits. There's even a couple gophers that have poked up, and several birds floating around. So, Tortle, Snortle, you see that as you're walking up towards him.
Okay.
And for Stony, you continue to kind of march across and heading towards 14, which is the ferries, and you see the ropes are enormously thick. They're probably about maybe 6 inches in diameter, and there's two of them that kind of slope across the river. And you see that there's a huge wooden capstan that's here, and you see there's a pair of draft horses that are kind of attached to that, and they're kind of pulling the ropes. And you see there's this large flat bottom barge that's sort of floating across the river right now as we speak. And it appears that it could hold a wagon, probably about 2 or 3 horses, as well as some people. So it's a very large ferry as it's coming across. And you do see that there's some, that little building to the south kind of has like spare ropes and materials for, kind of keeping everything in control. And you do see that there's a kind of this older gentleman that's on the barge as it kind of comes up and connects and looks, and you see a couple horses get off, and there's about 8 or 10 people on there that get off and go into the city, or into the town, I should say. He looks over to you and he says, "Going across the river."
Yeah. Is there a two-way trip package?
As well, I usually charge 1 silver a piece to get over on foot. If you got a horse or some sort of a mountain, it's 3 silver. I am happy to give you a ride back across for free if you need to.
Sure, that'd be great.
Hop aboard. We're just going to wait
Yep.
about 15-20 minutes, if that's all right.
Sure, I'll toss him a silver.
Takes it. Says, "Thank you, sir." And as he kind of sits there, you do see there's some people that come on, and as they do, he kind of calls out to them by name, and you can tell that they're city folk or people from the town. And you notice that he doesn't collect any money from them. And about I don't know, 8 or 10 people kind of get on the ferry that's here, and then he says, "All right, everybody, hang on." You see he kind of signals to the horses, and the horses start to move, and you can see the ferry starts to move back across the river. As he does, he's like just making small talk with a lot of the people that are there and whatnot. And finally, he kind of comes over to you and he says, "What's your story, tall man?"
Oh, we're kind of lost here. We took a long trip in a short time, and now we're just trying to find our way back, I guess.
See, are you from Bryn Mawr, or maybe from Kenneth Wood?
I'm just gonna say I'm from way up north.
Oh, way up north. Yes, I know exactly. Probably across the Blade Gas Plains, right?
Probably. I
Did
haven't
you
seen a map, so I don't really know exactly where I am even.
really? Huh. Oh, you must have come by Lake White Ridge down the North Road and Crossbone Breaker Bridge, right?
Nope. We
Huh.
came from the north
Ah,
into some strange land, and then we passed through a portal. It was all very strange.
very. Yeah. Wasn't, yeah. So obviously not the Dwarf Road, and you probably didn't take White Ridge Trail either, did you? That's
Nope.
fast. Huh. And you said the north, right? Not the south? You didn't come across the Bandit Wastes.
No, way up north. I don't know if you've ever heard of Waterdeep or Daggerford or any of those places.
Oh, yes. I've heard of Waterdeep. I think that's a a bit of a stretch, but I get the gist. I mean, I understand what you're saying. You don't have to, you know, make it seem like it's way up there.
Okay, good. That's not way up there. Good.
All right. Anyways, he says, "Well,
What are those structures in the river over there?"
oh
And I point to those
yeah,
blocks.
well, my great uncle, God rest his soul, helped kind of build that actually. He worked with the dwarves long back when. That was the ruins of the old bridge. These stone pylons, they were put in by the dwarfs back when we had a lot of dwarfs in town, and they had a bridge there. Unfortunately, it burned down. We're going to build one. At least they talk about building one, but that maybe not help me out very much, right? So I
No,
prefer
it wouldn't be good for business.
no, it'd be terrible. So I'm hoping they don't do that. But so far, it hasn't. But yeah. So it used to be the old dwarf bridge.
All right. How did it burn down?
Damn elves burned it down. Snuck in here, sabotaged it, and burned it all down.
Wonder why they'd do that.
Well, they have something against us humans. I don't get it. Don't worry, we pushed them back. They're in the woods. They're not coming back ever again.
All right.
At that point, you see that you sort of kind of get close to the edge there. As you went across the river, you see it's a fairly slow moving river. There's definitely water. It passes from north to south, and you do see though that it appears to be very deep. It's a very dark water in the center there, and then but it easily could be. You could swim across it if you had to. It's just you would end up farther down the river, obviously. So once you get there, he nods to you and he says, "Good chatting with you. I wish you the best on all your travels and hope you get home soon if that's where you're headed."
Me too. Thanks, and have a great day.
You too. So you kind of get off the ferry there, and you do see there's another kind of a warehouse building, and it looks like sort of a general store provisioner at number 18, and 16 appears to be a brew house. You can see there's some looks like militia that maybe worked throughout the night that are getting off duty that are there. To the north, heading to the north, you see the road kind of goes out of town. You see another set of 3 watchmen sitting there, and the same to the west. So anywhere there's a 1, there are watchmen kind of positioned there on the road, kind of checking things and people as they come in.
All right. I'll head into 18 and just check out what they've got there.
Sure. So you kind of start to head in there. Now, Pip and Snortle, I know you two are sitting on the grassy knoll.
Yep, I'm going to tell Snortle. I think I'm going to stay here. Reminds me just of Waterdeep.
Oh, it reminds me of Dallas, Texas.
So,
Pip takes his stick and he uses it as a rifle.
I bet. The parade's coming in a couple days. So you guys are kind of hanging out there then. So I'll go back the other way then. So as you enter in, Stony, to the provisioner place, you see that there's like tack and harnesses, and there's some kind of iron rations that are here, and you see there's ropes and pittons and caltrops and cloths and just all kinds of things that you would expect. There's you even see on the back wall there's some like oars for boats and things like that, and you also see in the back window there's actually a keel boat that's back there, a flat bottom boat that's in the back, that's kind of all nice painted and everything. And as you go in, you see there's a guy that's there as the bell rings as you walk in, and he looks and he says, "Good day, traveler."
Hello. I'm just window shopping right now. We may be stocking up for trips, so I just wandering around the store looking at prices and stuff.
Well, we have all the best, I promise you. And we've got great horses here, and there's some people in town that think they have the best, but I'll be honest, I have the best prices. So if you need any riding horses,
I'm the guy to see. And please look around. If you have any questions, let me know.
All right, I will. I'm going to head out and check his stock, his livestock.
Yeah, so as you go out, you see that he does have horses. They're not war horses. They're typical riding horses that you would expect. But they do seem to be well taken care of, well fed. Seem to be mature and definitely uh, something that would be good.
I will keep that in mind and relay that back to the fellows when
All
we
right,
join up again.
sounds good.
Head over to the brew house.
So the brew house you see doesn't have any windows. It just has one door that opens up, and you do see there's some candlelight that's obviously coming through there, and it does sound kind of a little bit rowdy at times. You can hear some kind of yelling and some crude comments about certain things and whatnot. And as you walk in, you see that. It's made of stone. There's about 5 or 6 tables that are here. The place looks pretty run down. It's kind of like your dive, essentially, if you want to think of it that way. You do see that most of the people in here are human soldiers, except for the guy behind the bar. And the gentleman behind the bar, you see, is a very tall, stocky guy. He has sort of this long, sort of ratty hair that comes down. It's black in nature, and he has 2 fangs that stick up from the lower jaw up onto the cheeks, kind of pouring beers and whatnot.
I recognize him, sort
Yeah,
of.
sort
He's
of, right?
similar to me.
He is, right? And you notice immediately that he's definitely a half orc.
They already had one in town. So I'll walk up and I'll just gonna walk up to the bar, order a draft, and then I'll say, "I'm looking for people to join a adventuring group. Is anybody interested?"
All right. He kind of looks at you and he's like, "Huh, what's your name?"
Stony.
"Stony. Gosler." Kind of looks to you and he nods. He says, "Surprised to let you in."
They don't normally.
Well, you're like me, right?
Yeah, we're similar.
Yeah. They don't really like orcs right now. You haven't heard.
Oh yeah, I've heard they don't like orcs, but we're not really orcs, are we?
Or not, but they tend to get confused sometimes. So glad to see you.
Well, I can always change their point of view
True.
if that's the case.
Very, very true. Well, if you're looking for people to be with, I'm sure they'll probably wander in here. If you're looking for adventurers, people of hire, kind of leans forward and he says, "Town guards, very good."
Yeah, they don't look really that good, anyways.
They
But
don't.
we're not in a position of real strength right now, so we may not have much choice. But I'll try to be discerning.
Yeah. Well, look around. I'm sure that somebody will wander into your perusal or will be interested in some work. But it kind of throws you a mug of ale and says, "On the house."
Thanks.
You're
And
welcome.
I'll. Are there benches at the bar?
Yeah, there is. It's yeah, they don't have chairs. It's just one long bench with the bar that's there.
Okay. I'll just sit with my back to the bar and sip on my ale for a while. Watch the crowd.